Warning: your legs are weakening. Eat these 6 foods to strengthen them. As we age, something insidious happens to our bodies. It's not always noticeable at first. The subtle signs of weakening legs creep up on us without us even realizing it. One day, you might find yourself struggling to get up from a chair, a task you used to do without a second thought. A few months later, climbing stairs could start feeling like a monumental challenge. Even the simple act of walking from one room to another may become exhausting. It's a reality many of us will face, but most don't truly understand it until it's already too late. And it's not just a part of aging. It's muscle loss, silent, gradual, and dangerously overlooked. People talk about the wrinkles on your face or the gray in your hair, but rarely do we focus on what's happening with our legs. The truth is, your legs are often the first to weaken as you age, and that's where things start to go wrong. You see, your legs are more than just the physical foundation of your body. They're the gateway to your independence. When your legs begin to fail, everything else follows. Balance deteriorates, your mobility declines, and suddenly, everyday activities that once seemed effortless, walking, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, become mountains to climb. What most people don't realize is how dangerous this is. When your legs weaken, your risk of falling skyrockets. The worst part? A single fall can change everything. A broken bone, a hospital stay, months of recovery, and before you know it, your sense of independence is gone. It's not just about losing strength in your legs. It's about losing your ability to live freely. You can't run, you can't dance, you can't even take a simple walk without fear of stumbling. Think about someone like Helen Mirren, one of the most iconic actresses of our time. You see her on screen, radiant and full of life, but like all of us, she's not immune to the effects of aging. What if she couldn't get up from her chair? What if climbing a few stairs became an impossible task? It's not an issue that only affects the elderly or those with visible health problems. This happens to everyone, and the sooner we acknowledge it, the better prepared we'll be to fight it. But here's the good news. This doesn't have to be your fate. You don't have to accept leg weakness as a part of growing older. It can be prevented, and more importantly, reversed. And no, I'm not talking about just exercise. While exercise is vital, there's another factor that most people completely overlook. The key to maintaining strong, healthy legs as you age comes down to something much simpler: what you eat. You might think of exercise when you think of muscle building, and rightfully so. But I'm here to tell you that without the right nutrients, your muscles will weaken over time, no matter how many hours you spend at the gym. That's why understanding what foods fuel your muscles is absolutely crucial. You may not realize it, but when you eat the right foods, you're actually feeding your muscles what they need to stay strong. For instance, take sweet potatoes. They're not just delicious. They're packed with complex carbohydrates that provide your muscles with a slow, steady release of energy throughout the day. This helps you keep going longer without crashing halfway through. Imagine how much more you could accomplish if your muscles had a steady supply of fuel instead of burning out quickly. It's not just about energy, though. What happens when your muscles don't recover properly? They become weak, stiff, and slow to respond. As we get older, the natural recovery process of our muscles slows down. That's why eating the right foods, like sweet potatoes, becomes even more critical. These foods are packed with antioxidants like vitamin A that help repair muscle tissue. And that's just the beginning. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest threats to muscle strength as we age, and it can often go unnoticed until it's already causing damage. Inflammation weakens your muscles and joints, making every step harder and increasing the risk of injury. Foods like sweet potatoes, with their anti-inflammatory properties, fight this silent enemy. But don't just take my word for it. Think about your own life. How many times have you found yourself struggling to keep up with a simple task because your legs just didn't have the strength they once did? I've worked with countless people over the years who didn't realize how simple changes in their diet could have kept them active longer, stronger, and more independent. The good news is you can start making these changes today. You don't need to wait for the weakness to take over. By incorporating these foods into your diet, you can restore your leg strength, improve your balance, and regain your independence. In this video, I'm going to share some of the most powerful foods that can help you slow down leg weakness and strengthen your muscles. We're not just talking about temporary fixes or quick solutions. These foods provide long-term benefits, and some of them might already be in your kitchen. So stay with me until the end, because one of these foods might just surprise you, and it might be exactly what you need to make sure your legs stay strong for years to come. In the quiet, small town of Maple Ridge, Lena Parker, a 45-year-old baker, was known for more than just her delicious pastries. For years, she'd been the heart and soul of her bakery, greeting customers with a warm smile, sharing stories, and creating mouth-watering treats that kept everyone coming back. But recently, Lena had noticed something unsettling. It wasn't the usual stress of running a busy bakery, but rather a quiet, creeping feeling that something wasn't quite right with her body. Her legs, once strong and resilient from years of running around the bakery, seemed to be betraying her. Simple tasks like carrying a tray of freshly baked bread were becoming more difficult. She'd find herself out of breath after a short walk to the back of the kitchen. And when she had to climb the stairs to her small apartment above the bakery, she'd feel a strange fatigue, a weakness she couldn't ignore. At first, she thought it was just the usual wear and tear of her job. But as the days passed, Lena couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something more serious was happening. She'd been hearing more and more about muscle loss and the effects it has on older adults, and the stories started to hit too close to home. She realized that the energy she had in her legs, the strength that had supported her for so long, was slowly fading. It wasn't just Lena. Across the country, people of all ages are silently facing the same issue. It's easy to overlook, to brush it off as just a part of getting older. But the truth is, this isn't simply aging, it's muscle loss. And muscle loss doesn't announce itself with a loud bang. It's gradual, sneaky, and dangerous. The muscles in your legs, the very foundation of your body, are the first to go. Lena was determined not to let her legs fail her. She'd always been the type to seek out solutions, and this time was no different. She started to dive into research, reaching out to nutritionists, reading up on how to slow down muscle loss. What she discovered wasn't just life-changing for her. It was eye-opening. The answer wasn't in running herself ragged trying to exercise more. The key to keeping her legs strong lay in something much simpler: what she ate. One of the first foods Lena added to her diet was sweet potatoes. They were something she had never really considered for their muscle-boosting benefits. As a baker, she was no stranger to healthy ingredients. But sweet potatoes seemed more like a side dish for dinner than a secret weapon for her legs. That was until she learned how rich sweet potatoes were in complex carbohydrates, fuel for the body that releases energy slowly and steadily, instead of the quick spikes and crashes that refined carbs like white bread often cause. Turns out, sweet potatoes provide the kind of sustained energy that supports endurance, helping you stay active without the midday crash. Lena was sold. She began adding mashed sweet potatoes into her morning breakfast muffins, blending them into smoothies, and even adding them as a side to some of her bakery's savory offerings. And it didn't take long for her to notice a change. By the afternoon, when she'd usually be dragging her feet, Lena found herself feeling more energized. Her legs didn't feel as heavy, and the fatigue that had once made her feel like she was trudging through quicksand was gone. She felt like she could take on a whole day of baking without hitting a wall. As her strength started to return, Lena couldn't help but think of others in her life who might be facing the same problem. Her younger brother, James, was one of those people. A farmer by trade, James had been struggling with the physical demands of his job for years. He was often bent over in the fields, lifting, carrying, and planting all day long. Over time, James began noticing a steady decline in his muscle strength, especially in his legs. He'd get tired faster, and even tasks that used to be easy, like walking across the farm, were leaving him winded. He didn't know what was happening, but he knew something wasn't right. When Lena shared her newfound knowledge with James, he was intrigued. He trusted his older sister's advice, so he decided to give it a shot. After hearing about the benefits of oats, especially the plant-based protein and iron they contain, he started adding them into his diet. Iron is a key nutrient in helping muscles get the oxygen they need, and oats are a fantastic source. The result? Within weeks, James felt stronger. The tiredness he once felt after a long day working the farm was starting to subside. Oats provided the energy his muscles needed to keep going, and the added iron helped fight off the fatigue that had been holding him back. He could feel his legs getting stronger, more stable, and less prone to cramping. This shift in mindset, realizing the power of proper nutrition, wasn't just an epiphany for Lena and James. It was a wake-up call for everyone. Too often, we think of exercise as the only way to build muscle and maintain strength as we age. But the truth is, what you put into your body plays a huge role in how your muscles perform. Without the right nutrients, no amount of exercise will prevent muscle loss. For Lena, sweet potatoes and oats were just the beginning. She knew there was much more to discover, and she was eager to continue her journey to restore her strength. Lena's story isn't just about her. It's about the countless people like her. People who have noticed a decline in strength, mobility, and energy but didn't know where to turn. The good news is, by simply changing what you eat, you can help prevent muscle loss and keep your legs strong for years to come. Sweet potatoes and oats are just two of the many powerful foods that can support your body and keep you moving with confidence. The key is recognizing the problem early and taking action, just like Lena did. She may be a baker, but she's now also a believer in the power of proper nutrition. And if it works for her, it can work for anyone. Lena Parker had always been an advocate for healthy living, but when it came to her mother, Helen, things had always been a little more complicated. Helen was 72, and like many older adults, she'd been struggling with joint pain for years. The stiffness in her knees and hips made even the simplest tasks, like walking around the house or getting in and out of the car, feel like monumental challenges. She tried various remedies over the years, from prescription medications to over-the-counter creams, but nothing seemed to provide lasting relief. As her daughter, Lena watched helplessly, unsure of how to help. That was until she stumbled upon something that would change both of their lives. Lena had been doing a lot of research lately, learning about the power of nutrition to combat age-related decline. She'd already started adding sweet potatoes and oats into her own diet, and the results were undeniable. She felt stronger, more energized, and less fatigued throughout the day. But when she learned about the incredible benefits of avocados, she knew this could be the missing link for her mom. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, the good kind of fats that have been shown to reduce inflammation in the body. As we age, inflammation can become a silent enemy, slowly building up and causing discomfort in our joints and muscles. This chronic inflammation is a key factor in the stiffness and pain that people like Helen experience on a daily basis. But avocados, with their healthy fats, help to reduce this inflammation, allowing muscles to stay more flexible and joints to feel less painful. Lena decided to start incorporating avocados into her mom's diet, hoping that the anti-inflammatory properties would provide some relief. She didn't waste any time. She added mashed avocado to her mom's morning toast, blended it into smoothies, and even made guacamole to pair with some of their meals. At first, Helen was skeptical. She'd heard about the wonders of avocado before, but never really understood how it could help with her joint pain. But Lena, ever the optimist, encouraged her mom to give it a try. Within just a few weeks, Helen began to notice something remarkable. The stiffness in her knees wasn't as intense as it used to be. She could walk around the house without feeling like every step was a struggle. And best of all, the pain in her hips, which had once been a constant companion, had started to diminish. It wasn't a cure, but it was a huge improvement. Her joints felt more mobile, and the discomfort that once kept her up at night had become more manageable. This was just one of the many examples of how simple dietary changes can lead to significant improvements in our physical well-being as we age. Lena couldn't believe it at first. Avocados had helped her mother feel more comfortable and less restricted in her movements. It was proof that the right foods, the ones that nourish the body from the inside out, could truly make a difference. Helen may have been skeptical at first, but now, she was a believer. But it wasn't just avocados that Lena was learning about. As she continued her research, she discovered that there were other foods just as powerful, foods that could fight inflammation, improve muscle health, and help with flexibility. One of those foods, surprisingly, came from something she'd always loved: berries. Berries, whether they're blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, or blackberries, are packed with antioxidants, which fight oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is one of the key contributors to the aging process, accelerating the breakdown of muscles and joints. By neutralizing free radicals, unstable molecules that cause damage, antioxidants help protect the body from the inside out. And for people like Lena, who were on their feet for hours every day in the bakery, that meant relief from the stiffness and pain that had begun to set in. Lena decided to try incorporating more berries into her diet, starting with blueberries. She added them to her morning smoothie, mixing them with some spinach, Greek yogurt, and a touch of honey for sweetness. It didn't take long before she noticed a difference. The long hours she spent standing behind the counter at her bakery, mixing dough and pulling trays from the oven, no longer left her with aching legs. She could feel her muscles loosening up, the tightness in her calves and thighs beginning to ease. She no longer had to push through that painful stiffness at the end of the day. Lena was amazed. She had always known berries were good for you, but she hadn't realized just how beneficial they could be for muscle health. The antioxidants in berries not only helped fight oxidative stress but also worked to reduce inflammation in her body, supporting her muscles and joints. They made her legs feel lighter, more flexible, and less tired. What's more, the added vitamin C in berries helped boost collagen production, which is essential for maintaining strong, flexible muscles and joints. As she ate more berries, Lena felt more capable of handling the long hours at the bakery without feeling drained. This combination of avocados and berries was beginning to feel like a powerful duo in her fight against muscle loss and joint pain. She wasn't just baking for a living anymore. She was also nourishing her body in ways she had never considered before. It wasn't just about what she did for a living. It was about living with vitality, living with strength, and living without the pain that comes with aging. In fact, the more Lena learned, the more she realized just how much power we have to shape our own health. So many people, just like Helen, believe that the aches and pains of getting older are inevitable. But with the right foods, like avocados and berries, we can fight back against those effects and take control of our physical health. You don't need to rely on medication or invasive treatments. Sometimes, the simplest changes in what you eat can make all the difference in how you feel. David Parker, Lena's husband, had always been the kind of man who was quick to roll up his sleeves and dive into hard work. A construction worker by trade, he spent long hours on his feet, lifting heavy materials, bending, twisting, and working in all kinds of weather. Over the years, the physical toll on his body had begun to show. His muscles ached after a full day of work, and he could feel the stiffness creeping into his joints. But what worried him most was the constant discomfort he felt, especially in his lower back and legs. It wasn't just the fatigue. It was the pain that lingered long after the workday ended. Lena had been researching ways to support his muscle health and overall well-being, and when she stumbled upon the benefits of salmon, she immediately knew she had to introduce it into their routine. Salmon, as she learned, is packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are known for their anti-inflammatory properties. These healthy fats fight inflammation, promote better circulation, and even reduce pain in muscles and joints. For someone like David, whose body was constantly under physical strain, this could be a game changer. David wasn't exactly the health-conscious type. He loved grilling, and he had his own ideas about what made a good meal. But when Lena suggested they start grilling salmon twice a week, he agreed, knowing that something needed to change. She seasoned it with a little lemon, garlic, and olive oil, then tossed it on the grill. The smoky aroma filled the backyard, and soon David was hooked. Not just on the flavor, but on the benefits he began to feel after eating it. Within just a few weeks, David noticed a difference. The pain that used to linger in his muscles after a long day of construction work had lessened. He didn't feel as stiff when he woke up in the mornings, and he had more energy throughout the day. His circulation seemed better, and the inflammation in his knees and lower back had been noticeably reduced. For the first time in a long while, David could work all day without feeling like he was running on empty. He was less sore, more mobile, and able to focus on his tasks without being constantly distracted by discomfort. It wasn't just the salmon. Lena had also been looking for ways to add other nutrient-rich foods into their diet. She knew that muscle health required more than just one magic food, and that's when she thought about the power of eggs. Eggs are often underestimated, but they are an incredible source of complete protein, rich in essential amino acids that help repair and rebuild muscle tissue. For someone like David, whose muscles were constantly breaking down and rebuilding from the physical demands of his job, eggs were an ideal food to promote muscle strength and recovery. Lena started adding more eggs into their family meals. She often made hearty omelets for dinner, mixing in fresh vegetables and a sprinkle of cheese. The entire family enjoyed them, and David found that these simple, protein-packed meals were making a noticeable difference in his muscle stability. He felt less fatigued and more able to move freely, even after a full day of lifting heavy materials. The key benefit of eggs wasn't just the protein, though. They are also a rich source of vitamin D, which plays a critical role in maintaining muscle strength, balance, and reducing the risk of falls. As we age, our bodies naturally lose some of their ability to absorb vitamin D from sunlight, and many older adults become deficient in it. This deficiency can contribute to muscle weakness and instability, increasing the risk of falls and injuries. By adding eggs to his diet, David was giving his body the necessary tools to maintain muscle strength and reduce those risks. Lena couldn't help but marvel at the changes she was seeing in David. The man who had once struggled with constant pain after a day of hard labor was now feeling stronger, more energetic, and less reliant on over-the-counter painkillers. Their children noticed the difference too. David had more energy to spend time with them after dinner, and he wasn't as fatigued when it came time for family outings. It wasn't just about the physical changes, though. For Lena, it was also about the mental shift. She saw firsthand how something as simple as the food they ate could have such a profound impact on their daily lives. What they put into their bodies wasn't just about fueling their stomachs. It was about fueling their muscles, their joints, and their overall well-being. And David's transformation was proof that these small changes could make a big difference. When it comes to muscle health, you don't need to look for the latest trends or fads. Sometimes, the most powerful foods are the ones that have been around for generations. Salmon and eggs may not be new on the scene, but their benefits are timeless. The key is understanding their role in promoting muscle strength and vitality, especially as we age. Just like David, you can experience improved strength, better circulation, and reduced pain with the right nutrients. And the best part? You don't have to make drastic changes to your lifestyle. Just add these nutrient-packed foods into your routine and watch your body transform. David might never have considered that grilling a few pieces of salmon or adding eggs to his meals could have such a profound impact, but now he swears by it. And for anyone looking to feel better, move easier, and stay strong, it's a simple yet effective place to start. As we wrap up today's discussion, let me leave you with this thought. Your legs are the foundation of your independence. They carry you through life, whether it's running to catch a bus, playing with your kids, or just taking a leisurely walk through the park. But the sad truth is, as we age, our legs are often the first to show signs of wear and tear. We might not notice it right away, but over time, the strength and vitality in our legs begin to fade. And when that happens, everything else follows. You lose your balance, your mobility declines, and the simple act of moving through your day becomes a struggle. But here's the key. It doesn't have to be this way. The weakening of your legs doesn't have to be a fate you accept. By making small, powerful changes to your diet, you can reverse much of the damage that's been done. It's not about drastic measures or extreme diets, just simple, nourishing foods that support your muscles and joints. Foods like sweet potatoes, oats, avocados, berries, salmon, and eggs can give your body the nutrients it needs to rebuild, recover, and stay strong. These aren't just random foods thrown together. They're scientifically backed powerhouses, each bringing something unique to the table. Sweet potatoes provide steady energy that your muscles need to keep going throughout the day. Oats help with muscle recovery and prevent fatigue, keeping your body feeling fresh. Avocados bring anti-inflammatory fats that reduce stiffness and pain, allowing your muscles to stay flexible. Berries fight oxidative stress, supporting your body's ability to heal and repair itself. Salmon brings essential omega-3 fatty acids to fight inflammation and promote healthy circulation. And eggs, with their complete protein and vitamin D, help maintain muscle mass and strength while protecting you from falls. Together, they form a complete nutritional foundation that can help you move better, feel stronger, and live with more freedom. Think about someone like Tom Hanks, an actor whose career has spanned decades. We often see him running across movie screens, playing roles that require him to be both agile and strong. What if Tom Hanks started facing the kind of muscle weakness and joint pain that many of us experience as we age? It wouldn't just affect his physical health, it would impact his ability to do what he loves. The truth is, no one is immune to the effects of aging, not even Hollywood stars. But the good news is, by taking care of our bodies and fueling them with the right nutrients, we can prevent or even reverse some of those effects. It's a lesson for all of us, no matter our age or profession. Now, I want to hear from you. Which food surprised you the most? Maybe it was the humble sweet potato, or perhaps you never realized how powerful oats could be for muscle recovery. Or maybe the idea of eating more avocados and salmon to reduce inflammation opened your eyes to something new. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know which food you're most excited to add to your diet and how you plan to incorporate it into your meals. Before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing health tips. We're here to help you take charge of your health and age gracefully. Because with the right knowledge and the right foods, you can stay strong and independent for many years to come. Stay tuned for more videos that will inspire you to make positive changes in your life.